and releasing tension in the belly. Okay. So I know I say, oh, do this every day, you know. Makes sense. You say that about everything.
Yeah.
But it is true, at least for my own practice, there are two things I do every single day. I start with meditation, I sit, and then I roll the belly. And then after that, it's like, you know, who knows? Who knows? It's, you know, it's up for grabs at that point. It could be all over the map. But those two things I always start with every single day. So I do think that this is a really important practice that, you know, to help release tension in the belly. So grab your ball. We're going to go face down. And for the first part of this, we're just going to kind of be extemporaneous. And you're just going to think about the rib cage, the bottom of the rib, and the pelvis. Okay? And so really anything here is game between the ribs and the pelvis. Right? And if you get in there right away and you're already like, you know, too much pressure, then you know you just need to take some of the air out of your ball, or I can swap out a ball with you, to the one that has less air.
So is the belly supposed to be relaxed when you're doing this? Or
Good question. Wow, that is a yes.
Okay.
Yes. Try to be as relaxed as you can. So it's not like we're engaging our core.
Okay.
Okay, so very good question. Thank you for asking. A relaxed belly is soft. Okay. Now it doesn't mean that we don't ever contract, right? We have to. We you know, we have to have strength there as well, right? But yes, a relaxed belly is soft. And try to think gliding, sliding, right? So the organs, when they're healthy, they glide and slide over each other. Hi, Lori. We've got a blanket over your yoga mat too. So for this first part, you know, we're just kind of being fluid and extemporaneous, like a jazz musician. You know, just kind of being impromptu and listening to the body. I mean, at some point in your home practice, you can find an area that feels a little dicey, and then you might just come down and rest and be in compression, right? That's also another technique. But just for today, we're just kind of using more movement just for this beginning part. Okay. And then now we're going to get a little bit more specific. So take the ball, think of the two halves of your pelvis like catcher's mitt. And we're going to take the ball to the right side of the catcher's mitt. Okay? So the right side of the catcher's mitt, just go ahead and snuggle that ball right in there. And then you can either stay, you know, with straight legs, or it's going to create a little bit more pressure, but you could bring the opposite leg up. And that's going to just, you know, kind of drive that pressure down a little bit more onto that right side abdomen. Okay? You can stay up on your elbows or maybe come all the way down, you know, just resting your forehead on your top hand. So this is now just the compression. So we're just settling in. Again, if it's too much pressure, you know, if it's creating any kind of back pain or discomfort, then we just need a ball with less air. Now you're welcome to just stay here in the compression, or we're gonna add, oh, I like what Carol's doing. Carol's just bending and straightening that right leg. That's a very cool thing to do as well. Maybe pump that leg a few times. Okay, then go ahead and keep that leg straight. And I'm gonna think about pressing that right thigh into the ground like I'm trying to kick a soccer ball. So it's as if you were going beneath the floorboards, right? It's isometric, you know, the leg isn't gonna move, obviously.
Which leg?
So you're gonna be bending the left leg. Yep, no, the other way, the frog. So straighten the right leg. There you go. Bring that left leg out to the side like half frog. There you go. Okay. Now we're gonna be straightening. We're working the iliopsoas here. You're gonna be keeping that right leg straight and you're trying to press it into the ground. Press that right thigh into the ground. The same thigh where the ball is on that hip. Okay. Inhale, hold, press, and then exhale, soften, release, and let go. Okay, so we'll do that again. Inhale, hold, press that right leg into the mat, and then you exhale, you soften, release, and see if there's a little bit more softness in there. Okay, let's do 2 more times like that. So it's inhale, hold, contract, press that right thigh into the mat. You're trying to kick a soccer ball, and then exhale, soften, release, and let go. Okay, very nice. And then just a few times, think about staying on the right side of the spine, and you're just gonna go up and down that right side of the spine. Okay, so I'm just using my elbows here like a little army crawl, going up and down that right side of the spine. And you can do this with either your left leg bent or straight. Okay, very nice. And then from here, let's go to the other side, okay? So you'll just take now the ball. Imagine as if the 2 halves of your pelvis were big catcher's mitt, and you're just gonna catch that ball right into that left catcher's mitt. All right, now decide what you wanna do with the right leg. Okay, you can keep it straight, or you can bring it out into like a half frog, and it's gonna drive a little bit more pressure. And first we're just here, you know, we're just kind of landing and breathing, and you could do that bend and straighten a few times of that left leg. Okay, now you're gonna keep that left leg straight, and then here we go. So inhale, hold, contract, that straight leg, the left leg, it's like you're trying to press that leg beneath the floorboards, and then exhale, soften, release, and let go. Okay, let's do 2 more times. Do you guys feel it becoming more receptive in there? Yeah, with each round, it's a little softer. Okay, very nice. And then from here, let's just do that little army crawl. So crawl up onto your elbows. You're like in Sphinx pose, and you're just going up and down now the left side. So from the left pelvis all the way up to the left side of the rib cage. It's like a channel on that left side. Obviously, you want to do this, you know, if you're doing this in your home practice, you want to do it empty of food, devoid of food. Don't have a breakfast burrito and then do this work. Okay, very nice. And then from here, let's go ahead and roll onto our back. Okay, so you can flip your legs around so that your legs are facing forward. I'm gonna fix my blanket here. It could be full Shavasana or half Shavasana. Just feel, sense, and notice. Notice any tingle, circulation. Notice your breath.